Alright, guys, we are up in all of the places. Don't send your heart me yet. Hold on, I'm fixing this. Boom. And now that's up and running too. Awesome sauce, fantastic. Let me get this going. Hi Tate, Paul, BMC, Raul, and No Name. Thank you guys. Oh, guess I'll need to do that. Hi Deborah, Marco, and Soroski. Aw, that is cute, Soroski. Summer, come lay down. Guys, don't forget to send your daily heart me and get those going in. Alright. Oh, I forgot to do that. Hold on, guys. Lay down. We are underwater. I'm kidding. Hold on. I actually thought that would be funny to say real quick. We're underwater. The brightness of the light. Hey, Bishop. I hope everyone is doing well today. It's Tuesday. We'll see how the MAGA are doing out there in the wild. Thank you, KX. Puppy! The puppy's not doing what she should be doing. Hi, Chris. Up on the bed. Come on. Come on. Good girl. The puppers is right there. The puppers is right there. Hey, Truth. Just a friendly reminder, guys, on TikTok. TikTok is the one that decides when we get all of this up and running properly. So, we have to get up to 2,000 likes on TikTok before we open up the lines. So, TikTok, get your fingers working. Let's get it going. Hi, Zach. Yes, teal lighting. That was, who suggested that yesterday? Who suggested that yesterday? Oh, I almost forgot. I gotta. That's funny working. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Oh, wow. You guys did it. Let me get this headphones ready. Okay. Oof. It's always weird when I do all this and then I hear my own voice. Thanks. I don't have a new haircut. Yes, it is summer. She's still behind me? There she is, Corey. She is a good girl. Very, very good girl. Very good puppers. I can promise you that. My day's alright, Moose. Yeah, well, actually, I plan on getting a haircut on Friday, but it's not gonna be mostly anything y'all can see. Hey, Counselor. Puppers. It's the puppers. For everyone saying hi to Summer, she's still back there. She's still back there. Yeah, Paul, I wish I could remember who suggested it yesterday. If I see their name, I'll remember. It's about how that goes. Hi,
Hello.
how old are you?
I'm 20.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you still support him?
Yeah.
What's your main reason that you still support Trump?
I want basically, like, you know, to cleanse our country. I want all the illegals out.
Cleanse
Yeah,
our country is a very interesting choice of words.
yeah, it needs to be all white.
You know what I'm not going to do today?
Why?
Talk to a white nationalist. That's weird. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm like I'm not doing it. I'm just not. We don't platform the absolute crazies. Dang. Well, Bishop, I hope work slows down a bit for you, cuz that's never any fun for it to just be insanely busy. But yeah, he needs to go touch some grass. I agree. Yeah. That was I assume on Discord, Calcifer? Yeah, see, at least he does admit in the comments that he was rage baiting. That's fine. It's still not gonna have a conversation with you. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello? Nope, that's up. No one's there. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? You had to, like, work yourself up to it, man? Alright, that's weird. That's weird. W touching grass. It makes it's so nice. Even when it makes me itchy, it's nicer than an afternoon. Nicer way to spend an afternoon than remembering MAGA exists without swallowing their tongues yet. It's so funny. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Said with heavy sarcasm. Oh, man. I know, I'm such a... I don't know who you're calling a hater. I mean, if you want to have a conversation, you actually have to request up. There's no use in me conversing with the comments. A, you have a character limit when you're typing. B, there's a delay from when I'm speaking to when you hear my voice. I saw you, Calcifer. Dirk, this is how I know that you didn't listen. But hi. That's a funny comment, Joey. I can see the green wall through Ari's complexion. Yes, guys, I am like a glass bottle, I guess. Would that be fair? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
All right. How old are you? Hey, Wheels.
29.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you still support him?
Yes, I do. However, I don't support him fully in all he does.
Okay. That's cool. What is the main reason that you still support Trump?
It's a rather dumb reason. When you want your agenda to be moved and you want your party to stay in power, you generally vote for your party.
No, okay, but I didn't ask why you voted for him. I'm asking why you still support him.
Why I still support him? Because I feel like the ideology of those on the left is far doesn't match my doesn't match my what I generally my morality and the when it comes to things such as morality and beliefs systems and ideology, it doesn't compute.
Gotcha. Hold on. Yeah, so what ideology are you not okay with? I guess? That's kind of funny, Dirk.
That's a yeah. Um, generally those on the far left, or liberalism. Let's just say liberalism in general.
What can you tell me what liberalism stands for? Like, what actually is the socioeconomic concept,
No,
the
I
party
cannot.
structure of liberal?
No, I cannot.
Okay, hold on. All right, so we're going to go through this. This is from Oxford. All right. Liberalism, willingness to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, openness to new ideas, a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. So it sounds like you're not for individual rights or civil liberties when you say that you are against liberalism in general.
Then perhaps I should say that I'm more of more more libertarian or center right than I am MAGA right.
Okay.
Um, for when it comes to the definition of liberalism, I see what I agree with some of the definition, and in my conscience, some parts I just can't say that I agree with it because I don't practice it.
Do you believe in a limited government?
Limited federal government. I believe the states should have more. Yes.
Okay.
Limited federal government. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's expand upon the definition. Liberalism is a political philosophy centered on individual rights, freedoms, and the protection of liberty through a limited government that operates under the consent of the governed, so the populace, and the rule of law. Key tenets include civil rights, equality before the law, private property, and free markets.
Okay. I think perhaps based upon personal experiences,
Yeah.
I can. It's hard for me the whole thing about the law and the following the law, or that part of it, based upon personal experience.
I know, Jay.
I cannot fully accept. I don't believe you can fully accept an entire definition if you don't believe in partial of the definition. If and I can't.
Marginally fair, but also not at the same time. Puppers, don't make me get out of this chair.
Yeah. And like
My
I said,
dog thinks that she's protecting me by barking at the dog that's being walked outside. Just so
my
everybody
dogs do
knows.
that too.
Yeah, it's very nice. All right. Well, sir, I'm gonna encourage you to look up some more stuff. Maybe listen in, and get some. What's that?
May I briefly explain a dumb reason why it just doesn't compute for me fully?
Okay.
When I was over in the Middle East, there was no law, there was no rules, there wasn't really anything in reality. It's hard to explain, but I didn't.
Lay down.
It's just the whole, based upon I know Middle East is 3,000 miles away and it was 10 years ago, but for some reason, when I think of it, the definition of liberalism, and I think of what we were attempting to accomplish over there, it just doesn't fully
No,
compute.
that would be liberation, an idea of liberation. But even that wasn't the idea of going over there, right? Because the idea of going over there was
Weapons of mass destruction.
the idea of weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. Unfortunately, Bush sold us on a lie. Like, I think we can all admit at this point that Bush
No, I agree with you. I agree
lied.
with you. I agree with you that Bush sold a lie and got us into 2 wars for decades and decades. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I get it, but I'm just going to encourage you, and I tell this to a lot of people. Do more research. That is the number one thing that anybody can do, is just take a little bit out of your time, even if it's like, I don't know, 30 minutes a day spread throughout the day. Do a little bit of research. All right?
I will take that advice, and I will do some research.
All right, man. Well, you have a good rest of your Tuesday.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, we're open for the next caller. At least, listen, guys, I'm not gonna, like, I'm okay with people that are being nice. All right? And yes, Raul definitely did not exist. That wouldn't necessarily surprise me, Joey, but that happens to everybody. Oh, okay, I wish you hadn't put that last part in there. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I just wanted to say I'm watching you live, and I don't support Trump either, but I just wanted to say that you are very beautiful and that Jesus loves you.
Well, thank you. Go have some fun. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello? Hey, Poke Gurumi. I know you changed your name. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you? Oh. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old are you?
Oh, over 40.
Okay, so
How old are you?
but under 50?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm in my early 30s. Did you vote for Trump?
I did not. I don't vote for either party.
All right, well, I am just actively looking for Trump voters that still support their vote. So I hope you have a good rest of your Tuesday. I was very clear. Sorry. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 18. Can I get me a large pizza?
Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? If you're gonna try to troll, at least do a better job. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, how old are you?
How you doing today? I'm 47.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Okay, and you still support him?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put this on Do Not Disturb so the other calls aren't calling in and, you know, making noise over you. And then also gonna put this up here. And thank you, Robert, for the 5. I won't say screw politics because I'm actively talking about it, but the rest of it I do agree. But all right, man. So what is the main reason that you still support Trump?
I think he's a really strong leader, and he's actually taken steps to lead our country on a better path. For the last 10 years or so, or I'll say even longer than that, America has been pretty divided amongst lines, white, black, you know, gay, straight, and I think it's more, less a class warfare than it is black, white, gay, straight, and it's just the upper echelon people, the elites. They know that they can use that black, white, gay, straight, whatever, as weapons against us to keep us divided. I do think, even though Donald Trump is very divisive as a person, his personality is unfiltered and raw. I think what he's doing for America, for us on the world stage, and for us here in America, bringing businesses back, closing our borders down, getting rid of the drugs and the crime. I think that's a good thing. Why don't you like them?
Sure. So I don't support a president that actually goes against articles and amendments of the United States Constitution, that talks about annexing our neighbor Canada, that talks about buying another country known as Greenland, that talks about taking back the Panama Canal, which was given back to Panama in 1999 after civil unrest and riots broke out due to our military occupation in Panama, and it was rightfully given back to them by an act of Congress signed off by a president of the United States.
You ever made a deal before? You ever had to bargain for anything where the first thing you do is you make an outlandish offer? That way, when you do make a reasonable offer, it sounds more realistic, and both parties
no, that would be
are willing
called
to move
highballing
towards
your offer. That's not saying making an outlandish one. That's highballing.
That's
Us
what he does.
telling
He does
people,
those
telling
things.
Canada that we're going to annex them is not making an outlandish offer. That's a threat.
Did you see Canada just conceded to the tariffs, right? The only thing they want to keep tariffs on is aluminum and steel. They backed down, which is good
They
for
backed down?
Americans.
Oh, yeah. They took
Yeah.
off some of their retaliatory tariffs, but they still have other ones still in effect.
They took them all off minus aluminum and steel.
Yeah. So you're telling me they also did away with their dairy tariff?
From what I understand, the only tariffs that they want to keep is aluminum and steel.
Gotcha. Canada
Is that not accurate?
tariffs. I don't think you're right.
Okay, look it up for me and we'll see.
I am.
But is that not a good thing for America? He made an outlandish statement
Thank you.
knowing that it would bring attention to the issues at hand. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes stuff goes under the radar. It's not brought to the American people's attention. And then when he makes an outlandish statement like that, it draws attention. And
Yes, I
pinpoints it.
agree it draws attention. I'm not saying that the attention is a good thing. I think that's where we're maybe getting a little bit confused. And just really quickly, 1 second TikTok and 1 second caller. Just a friendly reminder, guys, over on YouTube, we do have memberships and super chats available. If you send a super chat or become a member, it does go right up on the screen, and I will address the super chat. It just will be after the phone call.
So
Okay. So what I do want to go ahead. I looked this up. So specifically, Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, is removing retaliatory tariffs with the exception of U.S. autos, steel, and aluminum. So all of that still remains. And also that means that all previous tariffs that they had in place prior to January 20th, 2025 also still remain in effect. That's specifically only that they're removing retaliatory tariffs.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah.
But
I get your
so
point.
Are you
but
are
it's
you
still
a
not capitulating to them.
progressive? Do you consider yourself progressive, or do you consider yourself conservative liberalism, or where do you stand on the political spectrum?
I don't consider myself anything. I consider myself to be apolitical. I can argue both sides.
So if it wasn't Donald Trump, do you see any of his policies as a net positive for America, or do you just, because Donald Trump made the policy, it's bad?
No, for his current administration, about the only thing that I will give him credit for is specifically lowering the tax bracket by 2% just for 2 years. I believe that the no tax on tips is a good start to a policy. The no tax on overtime is incorrectly named. because you're still being taxed on your overtime. For anybody that does receive it, it's just a tax credit that you can deduct at the end of the year when you file your taxes in 2026. And I do support those two, like those three things specifically. However, there's plenty more that I cannot support on what he's actively doing.
What about Donald Trump's energy policy?
Can you elaborate to me what his energy policy is?
He wants to reopen the pipeline, start drilling again, start opening up land for drilling, start investing in updated nuclear energies and stuff like that.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is that nuclear energy is something that we haven't really dove into necessarily in a heavy amount. So fine, if we want to investigate or look into doing nuclear energy, that's cool. As far as everything else, according to the EIA, the United States has been the most energy independent that it has ever been since 2023, thanks to initiatives that were already done by Biden. It was also the most we were the number one producer in the world when it came to oil.
Those initiatives were actually put in place.
Hold on. What cat is not doing okay?
Initiatives was actually put in place previous to Biden.
No.
On Donald
what bill?
Trump's first administration, because.
Okay. What specifically? Can you tell me what executive order?
I'd have to go do the research on the exact bill that you want me to reference. Biden shut down that whole pipeline like his first or second, third day in office or something
actually,
like
it was
that.
the Supreme Court of Maryland that shut it down, that the Supreme Court of the United States reaffirmed. Because I assume you're talking about the Keystone XL pipeline?
Yes, Keystone XL, yes.
So that pipeline was specifically being built through native land, so indigenous territories, and that's why. And it was also deemed to be a major risk or a hazard to the rest of the country for everything that it presented. So Maryland actually put a stop to it. Maryland Supreme Court put a stop to it. Then it was sued again, went up to the Supreme Court level. The United States Supreme Court says we're going to send it back down to the lower court's decision and uphold the lower court's decision. The only thing that Biden did was pull back the permits that at that point were doing nothing because they couldn't build anymore.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about the Democratic soft on crime policy and Donald Trump's initiatives to try to clean up the streets?
The National Guard was never intended to be a police force against a citizen of the United States. And so therefore, I completely disagree with using our military members and service members who are trained for war being put out against the citizens of the United States.
The National Guard is trained for riots and all that kind of stuff. The armed forces like the U.S. Army, Marines, they're trained for war overseas. You cannot use those against American citizens.
But Donald Trump did that with the Marines in California, so that's not true.
He used them to secure the border from an invasion.
No, he deployed the Marines and the National Guard to Los Angeles, California, which last time I looked at a map, Los Angeles, California is not on the border.
What did he deploy the Marines there for? For what?
To go against the citizens. Wait, so what? Like, it was literally. Oh, thank you for the bee sting.
Citizens for what?
Yeah.
Like, what you talking about?
It was for the supposed riots that were breaking out.
What capacity was the Marines used in?
Yeah, they were used as an additional set of police force or police enforcement, which again is inherently against what they are supposed to be used for.
And I can agree with that. The National Guard, on the other hand, can be used in that way. The Marine Corps,
so I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's actually, it's called Posse Comitatus, and under that rule, the National Guard can still not be used as police enforcement in any way, shape, or form. So you're actually still wrong.
Well, what is the role of the National Guard then?
The role of the National Guard is to go out to state-declared emergencies or for federal emergencies, depending on what it's on. But
So
there
if there's
are
a
no
riot,
emergencies.
say there's a riot, out of hand riot, they're burning cities down. Can you not deploy the National Guard for that?
Only to protect the buildings. That's all that they're able to be used for, is to protect federal government buildings or state buildings. Sorry.
So to protect the border, can they be used to protect the border?
I wasn't making that claim. You were talking about him deploying the National Guard
I'm
against
asking a
citizens
question.
of the United States,
no,
and I'm saying
I'm-
that that's not okay.
I will have to research that. I'm in complete agreement with you. You cannot use the military against the United States citizens. That's why we got police.
And the National Guard is still a part of our U.S. Armed Forces. Many of the
What I was
individuals that are within the
asking-
National Guard are individuals that also served in one branch of armed forces or another, and then circled back down to the National Guard level.
Some come in strictly for college.
Yes, there are
and go into
some,
the
but I'm
National
just
Guard.
saying, like, there's plenty that
You're
specifically.
talking about the inactive ready reserves.
No, I'm talking about the National Guard. So
Where,
if for the individuals
service member
that
signs
were
a
already a
contract.
service member, in any other branch of government or any other branch of the guard, like the military, so you have Air
But they
Force,
don't go into
Marines,
the- they go
Army,
into the
Navy,
national-
those individuals have been trained for combat, not for de-escalation tactics, not for riot control, not to be used against citizens, right?
But they go
So let's
into the
see.
National
So you're
Guard
saying that the
under
National
something
Guard.
called- Give me a second. May I make a point real quick? They go into something called the inactive ready reserve, where they could be called up within the next couple of years if there's something going
Oh,
down.
yeah,
But
so
they don't
awesome. I love
directly
this.
Participate.
According to the
They don't
Brennan Center for
directly
Justice,
participate.
and also how does the National Guard work, and about nationalguard.mil, you can find that, yes, the National Guard is, in fact, trained for war.
They're also trained for domestic service as well.
But they're still primarily trained for war. And Thicky, if you want to give this phone a ring, I'll put you on speakerphone.
So you're telling me the National Guard is primarily trained for war? I thought the National Guard was primarily trained for emergencies on
Nope,
American
because
soil.
the National Guard can still be deployed to combat or war zones. And here, I'm going to help you out with my good friend.
Are we referring to the reserves or the National Guard?
Okay, so 1 second. Gosh, I don't know how to get this to work both ways. Okay.
You're awesome.
Okay, do you still have it open?
Say again.
Do you still have it open somewhere on another device?
Do I still have what open?
Tiki-talkie.
It's on this device.
Okay. All
So
right.
besides that
Can you
point
hear him?
that he...
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so
Yes, I
that's
can
not what
hear
the IRR is. Hey, listen up. That's not what the IRR is. People don't join the National Guard and go into the IRR. The inactive, like the IRR, is specifically for when you get out of the military without having completed your initial 8-year contract. That's all that is.
That's what I said.
Please stop being
That's
wrong.
what I said.
Just stop.
That's
I
what
was
I
in the
said.
Army for 14 years, my guy. I know more about this than you. The IRR
Listen,
is
guy.
only people
Listen,
that did
guy.
not complete their initial 8-year contract. That's it.
Why you're
it has
being
nothing
rude?
to
I'm
do with
trying
the
to have a
guard.
civil-
No,
I'm trying to have
You're
a civil
wrong.
conversation.
you are wrong.
I'm trying to have a
You
civil...
are wrong.
I'm
Just
trying to
I
have...
concede.
don't care.
dude.
You're wrong.
You just need to concede that you were wrong.
It's not what
I'm
the
trying to have a
IRR
civil
is.
conversation.
Just
You're trying
concede
to
you were
put
wrong.
words in my mouth. I did not say people join the National Guard to go into the IRR. I said once they
That
leave
is
a branch of service,
precisely what
they
you
go
said.
into the IRR.
That is
I know
precisely
what I
what you
said,
said.
buddy.
The IRR is for when people get out of the military and they have not completed their initial 8-year contract.
That's what I said.
That is all the
I never
IRR
said you
is. It
joined.
has nothing to do
I've
with what
never
you're claiming
said-
that it has to do with.
Go review the tape. I never said you joined the National Guard to go into the
I literally
IRR,
did.
sir.
That is why we are having this phone conversation right now, because you are wrong.
Caller, just concede it's okay.
I don't know what ego trip you on. Just because you served in the military, you was probably...
If you think
some
this is an
you're
ego trip,
probably a
you ain't
92
seen
Yankee.
shit, Cupcake.
What was your What was your MOS in the military, sir?
I was a 19 Delta. I have 4 combat deployments under my belt to Afghanistan and Iraq.
And he has a picture with Donald Trump that's available on the internet.
What is your name? I'll look you up right now, Mr. 19 Delta.
It's totally up to you.
I don't care if you was a 19 Delta or whatever you was, that chip on your shoulder when all I'm trying to do is have a civil conversation.
Oh, Comey, if you
and
think
come
this
to
is a chip on my shoulder, again, you are in for a rude awakening. If you think this is me being fucking salty, you're not going to survive in the real world. If you think this right here is anything more than me like slapping your wrist and telling you to stop it, man, you're fucked. You have a great rest of your day, Howard. I'm gonna go wake up now.
All right, bye, buddy.
Unprofessionalism, you're highly unprofessional.
I mean, for one, this
was an
isn't a
E4 in the
debate.
military.
No, he left at a very good rank. He left above an E6, but it's a nice try to just try to be rude to somebody that did serve in the military as well.
I retired from the military as well.
Okay. And that's why I was just saying, just concede that you were wrong. You're still wrong. And yeah, love you, Thickless. Yeah, guys, that's my good friend Thickless Cage on TikTok. I don't know what his YouTube might be, but oops. Not supposed to say that name because TikTok's a sensitive little child.
What's his name? I'm going to go look him up right now.
That's up to him to give to you. Since he didn't give it to you, I'm not giving it to how many people are watching this? Yeah, I'm not giving it to the 1,400 people on YouTube, so.
Because I think he's full of shit. I did retire out of the military.
Hold on. I see, if I mute this, I can't mute that, so. I'm sure you didn't. So.
You sure you want to look me up on? You look me up on Facebook.
Oh gosh, not Facebook.
You want to look me up on Facebook?
I hate Facebook, man. If I'm being honest, guys, Facebook is like the worst. Like, I hate Meta.
I have my pictures. I have my first sergeant rank on and my pictures on Facebook.
No, I believe you, man. Like, congratulations, thank you for your service, but all right. Anyways,
I was trying to have a civil conversation with you about why I like Trump, why you dislike Trump, and butting in being rude, not having anything to do with the conversation.
No, you brought up IRR, which is something that I am unfamiliar with, so that's why you did bring up the IRR.
You could go back and look at the transcript. I never said you join the National Guard to go into the IRR. I said that once you're done with service, then you go into IRR. National Guard and IRR are two different things.
Okay. Well,
when you get out of the military and you go into IRR, you're basically just on a list waiting to be called up if World War III happens.
I mean, that's National Guard in general.
Ready Reserve.
But I just Thicky wants to let you know to cry harder, but sorry, that's just what he specifically said, so I was just passing that along on there.
Guess what?
It's okay.
Trump is president.
He is.
He's a great president.
Yep.
He's going down in history as the greatest president.
He's not.
And that's all I have to say about that.
All right, man.
Did you vote for Biden?
Did I vote for Biden in 2020? I certainly did.
Do you think Biden is a better president than Donald Trump?
Always put Biden. I think that my Australian Shepherd would have been a better president than Donald Trump.
Answer me an honest question.
I think that my dog would be a better president than Donald Trump.
Do you think Joe Biden had the mental capacities to serve as president?
Oh, no, I can certainly agree with people that he was declining because dude was old. Dude is old. But I do find it hilarious that people hold the standard when Donald Trump is now the oldest elected president in all of history. So when he leaves office, he's going to be even older than Biden when he left office.
Literally crapped himself on stage. He couldn't even. He don't even know where the stairs are to get off the stage.
Yeah, because he had
together.
He could actually. You watch. So what I at this point I think that you did was you watched some mishmash clips together, whereas I've unfortunately have had to I don't know, listen to Donald Trump speak. And even better yet, I've actually gone back and read the transcripts, and reading them out loud makes me sound silly as fuck. Let me pull up Donald Trump.
America?
Donald
What
Trump.
What policies
Hold on, I want to
have
look
the
something
Democrat
up.
Party?
Donald
What
Trump
policies have the
speech
Democrat
about
Party
child
put in place
care
that benefited the American
transcripts.
people? What Democrat policies have been put in place to benefit the American people? What did
Infrastructure and Jobs
Obama
Act,
or-
and then the Inflation Reduction Act. So the IRA
that's a joke.
and the IJA.
The-
I hope that helps you.
the
Also the
Inflation
Chips and
Reduction
Science
Act
Act.
has the
The
highest
Chips and Science
reflation-
Act. No, you don't know when. Okay, you don't know when. You don't know when the Inflation Reduction Act was signed versus the highest point of inflation in our country, because what we actually saw up through 2024, about June of 2024, after the Inflation Reduction Act was signed in 22, is we saw the inflation rate go down month over month every single month after it was signed until it hit 2.4% in September of 2024. Joe Biden was also responsible for the PACT Act, which significantly assisted and impacted you as a veteran, sir. One of the most
So you
comprehensive
think-
comprehensive
Answer
bills
me a
for
question.
the former
Was
members of the
your
United
life
States military.
Was your life cheaper under Joe Biden
Than it
or
is
was your
now?
life
Yeah.
cheaper under Donald Trump? You're lying.
Then it is now?
Lie.
No, that's
That's a
not
bold-faced
true. I
lie.
actually I had more money in my pocket under Joe Biden than I did under Trump. And here's why I can tell you why, because I have a significant understanding of what CPI is and what the inflation rate actually measures. And the fact that, guess what? The cost of goods, the cost that you pay at the store for an item, prices go up.
How much was eggs?
Every
How much
single
was
time.
eggs under Joe Biden?
What was
How much
happening that eggs
under
went
Joe
up?
Biden?
What was happening that eggs went up?
How much was gas under Joe Biden?
What was happening that eggs went up?
How much was housing under Joe Biden? How much was electricity? It was all higher under Joe
Sweet.
Biden. Commodities and goods was higher
All right,
under
so
Joe
I'm gonna
Biden
read
than
you
they
this
are right
really
now.
quickly. So eggs went up
Okay.
because of the bird flu. Let's be very clear, that's not his fault because we can't accommodate for a pandemic that happens to animals. But I'm gonna read this to you. They said 1 year ago your country was dead. We never thought it was coming back. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. These are the leaders of other countries, the prime ministers and the presidents, every one of them said essentially the same thing, that said we had a dead country. And we felt that way, and this place was epidemic. Oh, sorry, I totally messed up that word. Emblematic of it all, with the crime, the horrible crime. And I watched these phony reports. We were on the way back, but they weren't on the way back. It was worse than ever just a short while ago, but now it's going to be, I think right now it is better than it has in years, and in a couple of weeks, it's going to be far better than that, and everyone is safe. Everyone feels safe, and they are all coming in. People are coming in now. They are making reservations to come in, and they want to be in Washington, D.C. One of the things we are going to be redoing is your parks. I'm very good at grass because I know a lot of golf courses all over the place. I know more about grass than any human being, I think, anywhere in the world, and we're going to be regrassing all of your parks, all brand new sprinkler systems, the best you can buy, just like Augusta. It will be like Augusta. It will look like, more importantly, like Trump National Golf Club. That's even better. But we're gonna have brand new grass, beautiful grass, like everything else. Grass has a life. Do you know that? Grass has a life. We have a life, and grass as a life, and the grass here died about 40 years ago, so we're gonna be rebuilding all of your parks, and it's gonna happen fast. It's going up like a miracle. So you do the job on safety, and I'll get this place fixed up physically, and we're going to be so proud of it. At the end of 6 months, but let's just say at the end of a year, this place will be maxed out in terms of beauty. You'll have all new surfaces. You'll have medians. Everything's going to look beautiful. A lot of your signs are going to be taken down. They've been up for 40 years. They look like hell. They look They're barely standing up. They're
what are you
falling
taking
off
away
off
from
their
that?
holders, and
What
we're
are you
gonna
taking away
have
from
all
that?
new everything. And I just want to thank Doug for doing such an incredible job. You've been unbelievable. You're a popular guy. No, he's an amazing guy. He's an amazing guy. Everybody love it. We love you. And his wife is so incredible. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. So that's a Donald Trump speech where I'm still unsure what he's talking about. Can you tell me what grass has to do with national security?
He's talking about beautifying the Capitol. He's talking about it look pretty, fixing it up. When's the last time you've been to Washington, D.C.?
2008.
It looks really horrible right now.
So you don't think that any of
really
that was a
rundown.
coherent sentence? Like, just so you know, every time that I paused was the break in his sentence. Every time that I said was literally what he iterated on stage. Every time that I
That's the
paused
thing.
was
You're
him.
let me ask you a question. What is the takeaway from that? That he wants to get rid of crime and beautify
The takeaway is I
Capitol?
have no idea what grass has anything to do with
He's
police
talking about
in Washington, D.C.
He's for one, you got.
What does
get
grass
rid
have
of
to
the
do with crime?
Washington.
What does grass
Washington,
have to do with
D.C.
crime?
Let me talk, please, and I will get to my point.
Giddy up.
So, to beautify D.C., for one, priority number one, you got to eliminate the crime. Once the crime is done and people feel safe, then you can start doing the
Giddy up.
painting and making the grass look better where it's all patchy, where they had tent cities at, and cleaning up the tent cities. And you go to Baltimore, Maryland, and there's rows of needles on the sidewalks and human feces, just like in LA, and the buildings are dilapidated, and he's trying to rebuild that. He wants
All
to
right,
rebuild it.
let's try this again. Oh goodness, Pupper, stop it.
Is that
They
wrong,
they
though, to
said
want
1
to
year ago
stop
your
crime?
country
Let me
was
ask you a
dead,
question.
and we never thought it was coming back,
question.
and you now have the
Quick
hottest
question.
country anywhere in the world. These are leaders of other countries, the prime ministers and the presidents, every one of them said essentially the same thing. Said we had a dead country, and we felt that way, and we were.
just read
And this
that.
place is emblematic of it with crime, the horrible crime. And
You
I
just
watched
read
these
that.
phony
You just
reports.
read that.
We're on the way back,
just
but they
read that.
weren't
Now
on the
let's
way
talk
back. They
about
were.
it.
It was worse than ever just a short while
You
ago. But
just
now
read
it's going to
that.
be,
You
I
just
think
read
right
that.
now,
Let's talk
it is
about it.
better than it has been in years. And in a couple of weeks, it's going to be far better than that. And everybody is safe. Everyone feels safe. And they are coming in. The people are coming in now. And they are making reservations to come in and they want to be in Washington, D.C.
You just said that. You just read that. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. What
besides
does
you-
grass have to do with crime?
He wants to clean up the D.C. and make people proud to be there. And in order to do that, the first thing you have to do is get rid of the crime. Nobody feels safe
This wasn't
there.
even
workers-
trying to address the question of crime.
You have to get rid of the crime. So we just
This
let the
wasn't
crime
even
go
about
rampant?
crime. What a part of it did it say? He was talking about America being the hottest country in the world.
After we get rid of the crime, after he cleans it up, after people feel comfortable.
No, he
was
said,
talking also-
and now
he
you
was-
have the hottest country anywhere in the world. What does attractiveness, I assume that's what he was aiming for, have anything to do with crime and or grass?
He was talking about the Olympics. If you
He was
continue
talking
reading, he was
about
talking
the Olympics?
somewhere in there, if it's the same speech I watched, he was talking about maybe trying to bring the Olympics to D.C. or something like that. I forget exactly. I don't watch every single news snippet of Donald Trump, but he was talking about beautifying D.C., making people proud to be in the capital of the United States of America. And
I love the
what's
pretzel.
wrong with that?
I love the
What's
pretzel.
wrong with-
Did we have airports in the Revolutionary War? I know,
we did
right?
not have
African?
airports in the Revolutionary War.
Oh, well, Donald Trump said that we were protecting airports in the Revolutionary War. How about, would
Did
you
Donald
rather,
Trump say that, or did Joe Biden say that? That was a
Donald
Joe
Trump
Biden
said
quote.
it. Donald Trump
Look
said.
it up.
Are you kidding me? Wait, we're trying to say. I just want to let you know that my good friend also says, I swear to God, if the United States didn't have school shootings, the rest of the world wouldn't believe we actually had schools. Trump says.
Joe Biden actually said that.
In Revolutionary War. I'm sure
Joe
he
Biden
didn't.
actually said that.
Oh, he did? Do you have proof of that yet?
Let me look it up. I can look it up.
July
as well. Hold on,
5th, 2019. Oh, let me skip this ad.
In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do. And at Fort McHenry, under the rocket's red glare, it had nothing but victory.
So I just want to be clear. In 1775, we had airports in the Revolutionary War, according to Donald Trump, that the army, no, he doesn't use the teleprompter. He doesn't use the teleprompter. How did somebody write the speech for him? He speaks off the cuff. He doesn't use a teleprompter.
You can clearly tell that was scripted. You can clearly hear him in the voice
clearly scripted.
You know, yes.
Oh, okay. So Donald Trump does use a teleprompter and he lied?
He sometimes uses a teleprompter. A lot of times the man shoots off the cuff, and you know it because he goes way off.
No, but that's not what he says. Yes, he says that he shoots off the cuff all the time.
He does. But he does use teleprompters as well. They all do.
No, he wasn't using a teleprompter, though.
Listen to his cadence in his voice. You can clearly hear he was.
Oh, for Python that wants to say you're talking like you never misspoke. Saying that they protected the airports in 1775 is not a misspeak. Do you agree with Donald Trump giving a microphone stand fellatio?
Do what now?
You haven't seen that either? It was during his campaign where the microphone went out. So then he proceeded to give the microphone stand fellatio.
Just like, let's put it like this.
Hey, TikTok, be sure to send your heart me, guys.
You can probably say 1,000 bad things about Trump. I could probably say 1,000 bad things about Biden.
Can you say 1,000 bad things about Trump yourself?
Probably.
Okay.
What can we say?
Start going down it.
What can we say, me and you, as American citizens, to get on the same page, to see eye to eye, to have better conversations with each other? That way we can move forward as a country. That way we're not just being political manipulated. As me and you, we both obviously we see in different directions. What can we do for each other? That way, instead of it being this big political argument, what can we do as a nation to help? You're awesome.
I guess until somebody sits down, until somebody can agree, unless you're a Trump supporter that can agree that the National Guard should not be used against civilians in any way, shape, or form, right? Or acting as police force like they're doing in Washington, D.C., where they're actually carrying military-grade arms in the Washington, D.C. streets now. If you can't agree that's wrong, there is no common ground to have.
That was the first thing I did. I said, I agree with you. If he did that, I said I agreed. Off the gate, I said that right out of the gate.
Yes, they're carrying military-grade weapons in the streets of D.C. right now. They are being used as a police force in the streets of D.C. And he's also still threatening to deploy the National Guard to other states that don't want the National Guard there.
Let me ask a question of you. How do you get rid of the crime, because the crime is crazy.
You
Like,
don't
what,
use
70
the
people?
National Guard because it goes directly against the posse to comatas rule that regulates the National Guard, that they cannot be used as a police force.
What do we need to do? Do we need to make the police force bigger, more militarized? What should we do?
Sure, you could support hiring more of them and also teach them de-escalation tactics as well.
But you got to understand, de-escalation tactics will get you hurt. I mean, you're talking about now.
Oh, is that
arrest-
why people die when police respond to a mental health crisis? Is that why the individuals get killed? Like
That's
Breonna Taylor?
That's probably
Breonna
like, so
Taylor?
out of
Breonna Taylor?
Out of 100,
Breonna,
out of
can you say her
100
name
calls-
for me? Can you say Breonna Taylor?
Can you let me get?
Can
a
you
word
say
in so
Breonna?
we
I'm just
can have
asking you to say a name.
conversation?
I'm just asking you to say a name. Breonna
The lady
Taylor.
that had, are you talking about the lady that had the child in her lap and she had the gun and she pointed at the police?
Nope,
Is that the
Breonna
lady?
Taylor. I just want you to say Breonna Taylor's name.
Well, tell me who Breonna Taylor is first.
Oh, so her ex-boyfriend called the cops on her when she was alone in her own house, in her own apartment, no weapon. And I believe it was that she screamed, right, in her bed. And all she did was scream as a reaction. They stormed into her house and they shot her dead. So,
Yeah, I don't
now
agree
just
with
say
that.
her
I
name.
don't agree with that at all.
Just say
But-
her name. It's not that hard. Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. Okay.
Perfect.
I don't know
Have a
nothing
good
about
fucking
Breonna
night.
Taylor, but can I
Do some
okay.
research, man. Do some research about the people that are actively armed and that are trained to take care of the citizens, except they don't. They kill them in their
Let me-
beds. I understand, Stormy. Just say her name. That was all I was asking you to do. Bird flu, thank you for the 5, Devin. Bird flu caused by lack of regulations and protections. What are your thoughts on progress of Project 2025 by the Republicans? Ew. No, I got you guys. If I was saying it wrong, that I understand. If somebody wants to send me to correct myself, I will happily do it if you send me a message on Discord. Literally, I'm happy to correct myself. I do know that she was unrightfully or unjustly killed by the police in her own home. Robert Lee, we're trying to. I'm trying to, man. Hey, Logic. They had a warrant, but it was a mistake. Thank you. Hold on. Where is my mouse? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 26.
All right. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I'm not even American. Is that okay?
No. But I hope you have a good night. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, how old are you?
I am 32, but you mind if I just ask you 2 quick questions?
I do a lot. Did you vote for Trump?
Okay, great. So,
No.
I did, yes.
When I say that, when you
go ahead,
ask,
yeah,
do
go
you
ahead.
mind, and I say I do, that means I do mind.
Yes.
So that's not an
correct.
invitation to continue. Do you still
Oh,
support
well, but
Donald
I'd still
Trump?
rather just ask the question, just so like it kind of sets up the parameter of what we're talking about.
Do you still support Donald Trump?
I do, yes.
Okay. Do I want to take a question? That's a good question.
Well, if you're really against it, we can talk about something else. But it's just more like I just want to know like exactly how this is going to go.
Typically, I ask questions and you answer them, and then we speak about the subject that's brought up.
So it's not a debate, just to be clear.
No.
Okay, and then secondly,
Debates have moderators, and they have timers. None of which
no, you can have
occur.
a debate with just a person. It's
That's a conversation.
I mean, no, ma'am. A conversation can be, "What do you want to eat today?" "Oh, I don't know. Sushi." a debate is like we're expressing ideas and trying to convince the other person we're correct, or
Nope.
to convince the audience that we're correct.
See, I'm not trying to convince anybody that I'm correct. I encourage every single individual to do their own research after I've said something. Similar enough to like how I take correction from individuals in the chat that said that I just explained a story wrong, and I say, okay, I explained it wrong. Someone please let me know the exact story so I can correct myself, right? So, and there's also this other thing that when you go into debates, is that you have an understanding, like both people have to have a mutual understanding of basic facts. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that I encounter here don't have an understanding of basic facts. And so therefore, it's not a debate. It's also not a debate because, again, debates are actually moderated. I would assume that you've watched any single one of the presidential debates that have occurred in the history of the country. They are moderated. And they have timers that they're allowed to speak for.
So again, you can have a debate with somebody, but that's fine. So we'll move on. So you said you believe you have a good understanding of the facts, correct?
No, I said in order to have a debate, you have to agree on basic facts. But we're not having a debate.
But you just said other
This is a
people don't have an
conversation.
understanding of basic facts.
Plenty of the people that I talk to don't have an understanding of basic facts.
Awesome. I think we're in agreement that facts are important. I'm totally in agreement with this. Can we talk about the Breonna Taylor comment you just made earlier?
Again, I'm waiting for someone to correct me. So no, my question for
Well,
you.
I'm doing it right now. I'm going to correct you right now.
No,
So
I'm
you said
good.
she was
I'll wait
alone in her
for. I will
apartment?
wait for my friend to correct me. Do you understand that
Your
at the beginning of
friend
this,
to
I already told you that I wasn't
Wait a
allowing you to
minute,
ask me questions?
Wait a minute.
Are you
What's this
understanding that
friend to
you don't
correct you
understand
thing?
boundaries? So I just want to be
Wait a
clear. So
minute,
you're
wait a minute.
continuing.
Whoa. What's
Hold
this
on,
thing
you're
on?
good. I just want to be clear that you're going to continue to overspeak me. You're going to continue to push your questions upon me when I already gave you the answer at the start of saying no. When you already violated my boundaries and I just explicitly told you what it was, right? No. Now I understand why you still support Donald Trump. You being unable to abide by boundaries.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we talking?
Okay. You being unable to abide by boundaries explains exactly why you still support Donald Trump. I live for your hate comments. Hold on, guys. All right, 1 second, Tiki Talkie. All right, guys, over on Twitch and on YouTube, I do want to let you guys know over on Twitch that you are able to get 1 month free of a subscription if you have an Amazon Prime membership. It is free through your Amazon Prime. Astro, thank you so much for the 99 cents. Also, just a friendly reminder over on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button up at the top. After you hit subscribe, we do have memberships and super chats available. If you send a super chat, it does go right up on the screen above my head or over to the side. None of your business. That's gross. Guys, I know I was muted on Tiki Talkie because Tiki Talkie is sensitive and wants all of the attention for themselves. I'll put this one back up on the screen just for a brief second. This gross. Don't be gross. Don't be gross. Don't be gross. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 17.
Okay, you do have to be 18 per TikTok terms of service, so have a great one. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hi, Ari.
Right, Lisa.
I listened into last call. I felt you were being a little intense. Now, I think that a debate can...
No need for tone police. Can I get the tone police emojis going on in the TikTok chat, please? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I am. Hey, you said Breonna Taylor was...
Just keep hanging up on you, man. Do you think I don't recognize the number? Just wanted to see if you had any kind of, I don't know, emotional regulation. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How old are you?
30.
Did you vote for Trump?
Sure did.
Do you still support him?
Not as much as I did pre and initial post-election, but yeah, sure I do.
Okay. What is the main reason that you still support Trump 7 months into his administration? Also, guys, on TikTok, don't forget to send your daily heart me's in. It only costs a penny.
Okay, my main reason is because it just pisses you off so good.
That's so freaking odd, and you hung up yourself. Ah! He kept calling back. I had to do it. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, yes, hi.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Do you still support him?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. What's your main reason for still supporting Trump?
Sorry, hang on. I just connected to my car. Can you say that one more time?
What is the main reason that you still supported Trump?
Oh, yes. So for me, I decided to vote that way. It was more of a...
No, why you still support him, not why you voted for him, just why you still support him. I don't care about why you voted. We're 7 months into his presidency. It's irrelevant.
Oh, just because I still respect him as a person.
So, thoughts and vibes?
Say that again?
Thoughts and vibes? And Robert, I'll get to your chat in a second.
So I have connections to the Trump family. I'm very close
That's
with
weird.
Donald Trump Jr.
I'm sure.
And Kai Trump and that whole family. And I've just got to see how he interacts with his grandchildren and how, like, kind of a person he is. And so I just respect him in that sense.
Can we get Liar for 500, please? And thank you, Phil, for subscribing.
Can you look up Field Ethos?
No, I'm good.
It's a business that Donald Trump Jr. owes with Jason Vincent, and Jason Vincent is my godfather. So there is actual. I'm not lying. Like I.
Well, if it's just thoughts and vibes, and you just like him as a person, that's totally cool. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thoughts and vibes. There's really no argument there. So have a good one. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello. Hi.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 24.
Okay, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Do you still support him?
It'll be more of a 70-25.
Okay.
Like 75 support, so 25 don't.
All right. So what is one of the main reason that you still support Trump?
Mostly, I agree with him for more of how the foreign-wise, like, you know, like peace around the world type deal. Besides the Middle East.
Aside from the Middle East, so you're okay that he's completely ruining our foreign relations with other countries?
Mostly, yes. Well, not in that way. As long as it's like us not trying to get back into a war. I get that, like, you know, the thing he did with Iran recently. That was a thing I wasn't really a fan of.
No, I'm talking about our allies, like specifically our G7 and our NATO allies and the UN allies that we have.
I don't respect our Western European allies. I only like our Eastern allies, which is like everybody in like Poland, Lithuania, Estonia.
That's right, and they're still losing respect for him too. So, and did you forget that those two countries that you just named are part of NATO?
No, it didn't.
Cool. So you just disregarded that when I said specifically our NATO allies and the UN?
I mean, sadly, like I get that you're correct on that part, where obviously we're not doing well with our allies. Mm-hmm. He's trying to do more of America dominance type deal.
Hmm.
But which sadly categorizes go with the things I don't support, which is like the whole Israel thing, like, you know, we must bend a knee to Israel type deal.
Mm-hmm. So
sadly,
you just
I'm not a
don't
fan of
care
Israel.
about the fact that he is ruining the relations with our foreign allies. You know, the ones that also assisted us during 9/11 and the aftermath of that.
That is also truthful. Like, I will agree with that. They also went back and bound. They went not back and bound, back and forth for us on after 9/11. They also sent troops to Iraq, Afghanistan.
Well, not every one of them sent troops, but specifically there was a coalition of Polish and Ukrainian troops that went into Iraq and Afghanistan together on our behalf.
I mean, it's pretty funny when you think that even the smallest nations even sent troops to help us. But, you know, I mean, I guess, you know what? You called me on my logic right there. I fucked up on my logic. You called me a red-handed right there. So my apologies.
I can appreciate that a lot.
Like, I'm trying to be open-minded about both sides and everything he or things. Like, the one thing I gave, like, him trying to end the Russian-Ukraine war, as I have Russian blood.
Gotcha. So how do you feel about the fact that leaders of 7 nations, just specifically European nations, plus all 8 of the Baltic, what are they called? The Nether Baltic nations, I know I have that first one wrong, also came together and spoke out against Donald Trump and his idea of what he was doing for Ukraine. They didn't just speak out. They wrote a formal letter.
What was that? Because I don't try to keep up. I try to find alternative news sources. So you got me curious on that one.
That's not what I wanted. Oh, so Nordic Baltic nations. My bad, guys. It's the NB8, the Nordic Baltic nations. I knew I had that first one wrong. I knew it. Okay. So they specifically wrote a joint statement that was published on Ukraine. You can find it. Let's see. Let me just pop this up real quick.
Alrighty, thank you. As long as it's not like, you know, Fox or CNN. Like, I try to stay away from the big
It's not. It's
things.
directly their statement.
Okay.
Display capture. Thank you. So you can literally just Google this. Joint statement of the leaders of the Nordic Baltic 8 on Ukraine. Published on August 16, 2025. The other 7 that I mentioned, right? That was published on Italy's website.
Okay.
Italy's government website, where they're explicitly stating that they support Ukraine and Ukraine keeping their boundaries and that the war doesn't end until Ukraine, who is the one that was invaded, concedes. If they choose to give up, then they accept it. But specifically, no peace deals, negotiations, ceasefires can be had without the direct involvement of Ukraine.
I mean, that's understandable. Yeah, I agree with that part of, like, you know, Ukraine needs to be in the peace deal. We don't want another Czechoslovakia. Where it's just like, oh, we just give all the land that they have fought for the past, how many years has it been now? 4 or 3?
The war has been going on since 2014.
It happened in 2022, right? Or 2020?
It's been going on since 2014.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I forgot about the Russian annexation of Sevastopol or Crimea.
Crimea, yeah.
What sadly, I blame both sides on that part because we didn't really do much to interfere at that time, as well as Europeans.
No, most assuredly, the United States failed our European allies when that comes to the truth of that. We failed them for the first 8 years of everything that was going on.
But yeah, I mean, hey, I got some information I know, but
yeah,
you know, I'll say one of the negative things, which I think people will probably not want to hear, but the Epstein files, you know, that was one of the big promises that was made. Never got them. We never will, sadly.
What was one of the promises? I missed it. I apologize.
You know, the Epstein files will be released.
Yes, where they did release a stack of files, but only 3% were not previously known. Out of that 3%, only 2% were actually publicly available already because they were flight logs and flight records. So really, they only had 1% of new data, and it was nothing to write home about. Yeah.
But sadly, we're never going to get the rest of the files unless some brave fucking decides to leak them all, but, you know.
Potentially, yeah. I would agree with you
Well,
there.
yeah, no.
That's about accurate.
And then also there's, you know, sadly, as most U.S. politicians, they bend the knee to Israel. Same with Trump. Same with all of everybody.
Yeah, Israel is both parties' faults.
Yeah, I'm not
100%.
I'm not a major fan of Israel. They are going to cause World War III. I believe that is fact.
That's quite possible. No help of Trump, though, because he's already made it very clear, giddy up, that he's going to continue to fund the shit out of Israel. Are you aware that Israel's healthcare system is literally funded by tax-paying American citizens?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I know that.
It's horrible,
They're military
right?
funded by us. What's up?
Yeah, no, it's horrible. Like, have you ever heard of Israeli bonds?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. So,
like, everything there's funded by us. Their tanks, their
Yeah.
weapons, their military, healthcare, their government. Which is
So
strange, which allows them where, even though it's in our laws where foreign powers aren't supposed to be in our, messing with our form of Congress or anything like that. There's AIPAC.
yeah, AIPAC sucks. I knew you were going with that one. AIPAC 100% sucks. Like, they should dissolve AIPAC. Okay. Anyways, so Israeli bonds, which I think you said you've heard of before. So just for those who don't know, the Israeli bonds are available for states and local municipalities, so like counties, to buy. And last time I looked, and granted it's been a couple of months, 25 states buy Israeli bonds, which is just giving money to Israel in order to fund everything that they've got going on. Even more municipalities buy them. And in the state of Florida, the governor of Florida just made it so that they don't have to buy rated bonds. So meaning that buying it direct from a source that's been rated as being reputable. So they can just buy it from unreputable sources now for the state of Florida. It's fantastic. I hate it here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, that was just me, little blurb on my,
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine. It's nice.
For
nice
those
to
who didn't know.
something new. Because,
Yeah.
It's nice to know knowledge or gather knowledge and everything. As you can, I don't know, as I stated, I'm more right side of things. Politics-wise, but economically, I lean more towards left.
Oh, makes sense.
In immigration, I'm in the middle, where I believe we should have strict immigration, but we should have it a little bit easier where people can get in, not like, they have to spend 10 to 20 years.
Oh, yeah. I personally, and I've said this many times before, I support amnesty for anybody that's been in the country 5 or more years and has committed no crimes. And then that puts them back on their original pathway to citizenship and gives them the opportunity in order to become citizens. Because unfortunately, our working class is aging out.
I mean, sadly, yeah. I mean, nobody wants to do trades or anything like that.
Yeah, we do need to have immigration here, if for nothing else but to spurn on our job market, because they pay taxes and then they don't get any benefit of it for a while. Majority of them don't. I can't say none of them do, but the majority of them don't see a benefit of it.
I mean, there comes. I'm not a fan of massive immigration of how how the Biden administration did it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, for one, they didn't. How many people do you think came in under Biden?
Probably more than 1 million.
So I would agree that the rough estimate of gotaways is about 1.6 million, right? So people that actually came into the country. So, see, there's also this very, very big misconception on what the CBP, the Customs and Border Protection, actually reports on their website. So specifically, they report on encounters, apprehensions, and then deportations, right? What people don't realize is that CBP's definition of an encounter is any individual that is stopped by CBP while attempting to make an illegal crossing, and these individuals are automatically rejected. So even that number where we had 8.4 million encounters from October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2024, all of those individuals were rejected.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Guys, definitions and words that we use are important.
But yeah, I mean, sorry, yeah, I don't really have much else to say, honestly. I said all my stuff.
No worries,
you said
man.
all yours. My bad if I wasted your time and anything.
No, you're good. I appreciate it. I would rather have a very decent back and forth, and hey, you're taking home some knowledge today.
Yep.
All right, man.
You have a nice day, man.
Have a good Tuesday. Let me get to some of these chats real quick. I am going to go ahead and read yours out really quickly, Robert. Robert said, "Is very clear. I'm here very clearly here to invite voices to a place to be heard. I think she's being very transparent. The screen shows a broad description of what she wants to discuss. Are people blind? P.S. Good stream." Thank you so much for the 20. Also, thank you, Twisted, for the 20 as well. I love this. Thank you for doing this, Ari. You are amazing. I appreciate that so much. I'm going to leave this up for a moment, but I'm also going to thank Arton. Thank you for the 199. Just saying you're awesome. What I am going to do now, though, is go ahead and correct myself, right? Is so that there was a search warrant that was had, it was issued to the wrong apartment for when they broke into Breonna Taylor, right? They forced entry with the battering ram. The boyfriend is the one that fired a shot, right? And harmed Sergeant Mattingly in the leg, and then they returned fire for 30 rounds. And Breonna Taylor was unalived in her bed while she was sleeping because they were just pew-pewing. No body cap, the police also had entered in regular clothing, not in police clothes or uniform. And there was no body cam footage for the raid itself. Awesome. See? I am so glad. Thank you for the information, Bishop. I tried to ask Leah, my friend Leah, but she didn't see it. And I appreciate it. I will always take and retain knowledge and correct myself. All right, lines are back open. TikTok, let's go ahead and get up to 125,000 likes. And then after that, let's get it up to 150. So I want to see us at 150 likes in the next 20 minutes. I think that's doable. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Okay, do you still support him?
Parts of me. You want a percentage? Yes.
No, I mean, a percentage isn't really necessary. And yes, thank you, Arcane, for that as well, for saying that. So I'll just put that up there for a second. But what is one of the main...
Blanket.
If you don't...
I'm just trying to figure out where to, I guess, kind of start.
Okay. What is the main reason? So, let's start with one point. Why you still support Trump?
Trump puts America first.
What does America first look like to you? It does look like different things to different people. Guys, don't forget to hit that follow button as well.
We can just do kind of matter-of-fact stuff. I get that there are opinions that relationships are being ruined overseas because we've stopped shelling out money to random countries to keep them alive. I don't know. I'm of the opinion that if you cannot support your own country, economically, whatever, okay, dissolve and go into another country because you're not supporting yourself. So that's one. He doesn't shell out tons of money to other countries. We've got a 15% tax tariff against Israel. It's went into effect the 7th. I don't know. I just view that as America first.
Okay. All right. So I don't necessarily disagree with you on the principal idea that we shouldn't be sending out money to all of these other countries. In general, I agree with you. However, I think that these programs that were already in place should have been dismantled slowly, because we see a detrimental ripple effect that are occurring in these countries from just the blanket stop of funds that were congressionally approved, which the president doesn't have the authority to stop congressionally approved funds from going anywhere. That is strictly relies on Congress of the United States of America. That is literally their job. So again, I don't necessarily disagree with you on principle, just the way that it was enacted and the way that it was going about is harmful. And I believe that the harm has a higher impact than the intent of the idea of not spending money there. And so in that case, the harm outweighs the intent.
Well, it's not the intent, it's the outcome. So
right, the outcome is the harm. Harm is the outcome. I'm talking about the intent is to not send money over there. Would you disagree that that's not the intent?
Still, even if it's harming another country, that's not harming America.
It doesn't matter. It's still causing overall harm to humanity, and I disagree with overall harm to humanity.
Okay, so I can see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that the intent outweighs the harm.
So we're not talking about the harm here, though. That still does not outweigh the fact that it is putting America first.
It's
technically it's not really. There's not really anything you can say against that. The fact that we are taking money that we used to send to others and using it, and honestly, I can say I don't think we're using it for that much of good here. But the fact that it's not leaving the country anymore is America first, right? Tariffs on other countries, we're not a free market, and we never should have been. So I believe tariffs on other countries is also supporting America first, right? It's like charging rent to, it's like a strip mall charging rent, right?
No. Who pays the upfront cost of tariffs?
Explain why it's not like that.
Sure, let's try this. We have to make sure we have a basic understanding of the same thing. Who pays the upfront cost of tariffs?
We do not pay the upfront cost.
I'm not saying we, I'm asking who. So if we have since you said 15%,
tariffs are enacted.
Incorrect. So if we have a 15% tariff on Israel, right? It is the American company or the American importer that is paying that 15% tax, that tariff, because it is placed specifically on imported goods into America. It is not paid by the foreign country.
And in turn, they raise their prices 15%, causing the importation of a product to be raised so that it makes it more difficult and more taxing for a company to ship products in. Yes, okay, cool. American importers. That doesn't really help your argument. The fact
it does to start with, because you started this point with the general misunderstanding of who pays for tariffs. So there is a long-term trickle-down effect where the manufacturer in a country like Israel, for example, might end up increasing their product prices, but that is not the upfront upfront effect. The upfront effect is that American companies are paying the imported percentage, that 15% on their overall purchase to come into America. And then we already know, we have evidence of this from Procter & Gamble specifically, you know, the ones that make Tide, acknowledging that they are now increasing their prices due to the Trump tariffs. So we know for a fact that the tariff increase gets passed on.
That's great.
That produces a lot of shit that American citizens buy on the daily basis. This is directly impacting American citizens. Tariffs that American companies have to pay for that gets sent back down to the consumer are not American first.
Now, you've now spun an argument.
I didn't spin an argument. I was... No, because you have a generic, you had an inherent misunderstanding up front of who pays for tariffs.
Okay, so then let's go back to the sending money to another country. You have the misunderstanding of what America first means then. Because if you think sending money to other countries just to keep the general peace is...
That's not what I said either, did I?
No, you did.
No, I said I support the general idea of not sending a bunch of money to other countries. I'm saying that if we were going to roll it back, it needs to be at a pace to which it's not going to cause overall harm to the humans that exist on this planet.
Okay, but is it America's responsibility to make sure every human?
No, I think that we do too much on the international stage.
Okay, so we agree there.
Right. That's why I said you're still wrong on what my premise was. Like, I believe that it needed to roll back. And some of the things that we did is because we literally ruined those countries by committing our war against WMDs on Iraq and Afghanistan.
How did we... Well, I'm not talking about those countries. How did we destroy those countries by giving them money? We've actually been...
No, I'm saying we are giving them money because we destroyed them.
Who are we giving money to?
So, like, isn't somebody's... There was a claim that we were sending Sesame Street to Iraq and we were paying all of that when really it was just PBS, which is a learning channel, right? It's a news channel and a learning program.
So why is a news channel doing that?
Why? Because the United States, specifically Congress, endorsed it, approved it, because we... fucked up Iraq.
So it wasn't us, it was CBS, but it was us because we approved it.
Because Congress approved the funds, because that's how Article 1 of the United States Constitution lays out their duties.
Yes.
Right.
So
because we fucked them up.
Still, because we sent it through PBS. It doesn't matter what the
it was paid by USAID. For them to assist in their education because we literally destroyed schools in Iraq.
Just like all of the Christian schools and hospitals and everything have been destroyed by Israel? Is that what we're saying?
Oh, Israel is fucked. I don't like Israel.
Okay. Are you taking a political stance on that?
Oh, no, that's not a political stance. That's my hard-backed personal opinion. Israel is fucked. I don't like Israel. I don't like what Bibi Netanyahu is doing. And I hope that he finally shows up to the ICJ and faces the charges that has been brought up against him. Or even within his own country, I hope the charges go against him. Bibi Netanyahu is fucked.
Okay. That sounds anti-Semitic when you say it that way.
No, just specifically him is fucked. He's doing
Just
fuck
him.
shit.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to just take blame and put it on one person like him and Trump.
He is the leader of their country, and he's been telling us the same thing since 1993 about his enemies that he disagrees with, that we now have to also take on enemies for no good reason, right? He's literally continuing the war, even though he's been offered multiple ceasefires, and he's still continuing to do it. He's ignoring the fact that they're offering ceasefires. So yeah, again, I hope that Bibi Netanyahu goes to the ICJ and faces charges.
So, but now you're double standard here. just because we've offered ceasefires, it's not on his terms. He doesn't have to stop, though.
No,
Ukraine-
not we
You're
offered
just
ceasefires.
contradicting.
Hamas offered ceasefires to Israel.
Hamas offered ceasefires.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Not the United
Okay.
States. We haven't done anything past January 19th's original ceasefire agreement of 2025. January 16th, my bad.
We did drop bombs in Iran.
I'm talking about Gaza and Israel.
Okay.
We haven't done anything to facilitate another conversation for a ceasefire agreement between those two.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to understand why it's wrong for us to try and negotiate a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine now. 'Cause
Oh,
that
I'm
was
not
brought up
saying that it's
earlier
not
and-
wrong. What I'm saying is specifically, and all I was doing was iterating what, how many other countries? 14 other countries' leaders said in regards to Ukraine, is that there cannot be any ceasefire negotiations or peace talks without President Zelensky being involved because he is the president of Ukraine, of the country that was wrongfully invaded. I didn't
Okay.
know that is such a weird hardline stance to go by.
No, it just sounds like a double standard that
How is it a double standard
Israel
to just
can't-
say that the
It
14
is-
world leaders
it
said
is a
this?
double standard, the fact that you are saying
That Israel
That
could be involved in the negotiations?
yes, absolutely.
Okay, and they were. That's why Hamas offered them a ceasefire, and it's not a double standard to also make a point to say that Israel has denied every ceasefire that's been offered. If you want to look at it on the flip side, Ukraine
how
has
many
offered
ceasefires has
unconditional ceasefires to Russia. Unconditional. So they said no conditions, we'll just all stop fighting, and Russia has declined multiple times since Donald Trump has been in office and even first brought this up to Putin in February of 2025. He specifically denied it again on March 18th of 2025, where he said that there will be no ceasefires, right? Because he didn't talk to anybody in Ukraine. He didn't. He just literally straight out rejected them and said, no, there will be no ceasefire agreements unless we look into the root causes of the war.
Okay, so I don't think that's true either because just recently, as you've probably heard, he hopped on the phone at like 3 a.m. Russia time to negotiate with Ukrainian and other European representatives in
Oh,
the
on what
Oval
date?
Office. So
No. Donald Trump specifically said that he held that conversation in a different room without Ukraine or the European leaders. So that's categorically untrue. Categorically untrue.
How does that make it categorically untrue?
Because in no way, shape, or form are you telling the truth here.
I'm not. That is not true.
Donald Trump
You can just say
himself,
that. You can say
Donald
that if you want
Trump himself said
No, just
that
to
he
talk about it
stepped
doesn't make you
outside of the room to
make sure
call
we get that.
Putin, and he wouldn't want to have this
Let's make sure we
conversation
understand that.
in front of the
Louder
other
doesn't mean
world
right.
leaders, in front of the other
If
world
Louder
leaders,
was
because
right,
he thought it would be
Donald Trump would be
disrespectful
right
to
all the time.
Putin.
Oh man.
He didn't talk with any European leaders, nor did Putin talk with the president of Ukraine.
Okay. Did Joe Biden try to facilitate any sort of peace talks?
Not with Russia, no. But I love
Not with Russia. So-
how he brings this up, and then it's always got to be, what about Biden? You guys are
I mean,
always
yeah,
so
we're talking-
predictable. Did anybody get a bingo
No,
job for
always so
Biden?
predictable. Come on. You're crazy. Always so predictable. That's a wild statement.
You are
I'm just
always
trying to
so
bring up-
predictable. I'm sorry that it's always the way that
So
these
are you.
conversations
You're-
go.
Okay, so are you.
How am I
You're
predictable
a
when you didn't even know
middle-aged
that
white
Donald
lady that's
Trump,
probably not
when you
married,
didn't even
that
know
talks
that
louder
Donald
when she
Trump,
starts getting through?
okay, let's try this again. How is it predictable when you, sir, pivoted to Russia and Ukraine, and you, sir, didn't even know that Donald Trump, when he spoke about it on Fox News, told the Fox News individuals that he had to step outside of the room from where guess what? The European leaders and President Zelensky were sitting because he said it would be disrespectful to Putin to have the conversation in front of these world leaders. Got it. So that was so predictable because you somehow knew it when you didn't know it at all. Got it. I love how that's predictable. And I also love how during all of this, I hadn't actually said any ad hominem towards him, but he does. He deflects because he's not able to actually point out the parts that I made, any point that I made. So he goes to, you're a typical middle-aged white woman. I bet you're not even married. Oh no, what a shame. Dude, you think you flexed with that? Because you didn't. Like, you think, like, I'm sorry, you still don't understand how Donald Trump has messed up. Yeah, let's put this up for Zeller. The war was supposed to be over on day 1. Right? Donald Trump, when he was on the campaign trail, told America, told the 77 million individuals who voted for Donald Trump, told them, I will end the war within 24 hours of being president. And then not only that, he had to one-up himself and say, I will end the war within 24 hours of being president-elect. He had to one-up himself. And then he has to come out because he realized, oh, I couldn't do that of being president-elect, right? Couldn't do that while being president-elect. So he had to come out on January 6th and tell the American people, actually a lot of people don't even know this, on January 6th that he would need 6 months, right? So on January 6th, he said he would need it 6 months. We are now August 26th of 2025. We are 7 months and 6 days into his entire presidency. But if you actually look back on it from the day that he said, right? From January 6th, we are 7 months and 20 days from when he promised that he was going to end it in 6 months on January 6th, 2025. And for everybody that wants to say that he was saying it rhetorically, well, he wasn't saying it rhetorically on January 6th, 2025 when he said that he was being rhetorical about saying he would end the war in 24 hours. He said, I think this time in reality would take me about 6 months. And then it still failed. And now he's just saying, I need 2 weeks, 2 more weeks, 2 weeks. This is always Donald Trump's timeline. It is always 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. It's always 2 weeks. So I would love for, if he's done crashing out, which doesn't look like he's done crashing out, are you able to address anything that I said without, okay, you're not able to at all. Got it. Okay, so it's fine. I do overtalk people that aren't able to uphold a generic conversation or just a plain conversation and resort to ad hominem attacks because they're not able to address the points that were made, right? Saying that I'm so predictable when I brought up points that he didn't even know about. So let's start there. Well, do I need to reiterate these points that Donald Trump himself said that he stepped outside of the room to talk to European leaders and he didn't have this conversation in front of the European leaders with Putin? And Putin himself has actually come out afterwards and said that he's not negotiating with Zelensky. Oh, wow. How about his intelligence team and his intelligence network also coming out and saying they're not negotiating directly with Zelensky? How about Donald Trump lying about saying that they were going to have NATO Article 5 like guarantees for Ukraine as a part of a peace negotiation? Oh, wait, that didn't happen. Putin himself said it didn't happen. Russia's force, their military intelligence, said it didn't happen. Oh, wow. How about that? Donald Trump lied again. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, are we going to continue a conversation, or are you just going to continue talking for the 8 straight minute now? We're going on 8.
I don't know. Are you able to actually address any points without resorting to ad hominems?
I'm not adding ad hominems until you threw in an ad hominem.
Sir, what ad hominem did I tell you before saying, what ad hominem did I tell you before you said you're a typical middle-aged white woman? Which, by the way, I'm not middle-aged because I'm not in above 40, so try again. Nice try. Oh, I don't, because even the most people that hate me the most in these chats tell me that I look like I'm 16. So it's a good flex, but I already know that you're not honest, so that's cool.
That is crazy.
I mean,
All right.
men typically
let me
infantilize women for
mention-
whatever reason.
Let me.
So can you tell me what ad hominem attack I said?
your-
What ad hominem did I say?
of your-
What ad hominem did I say?
I haven't said anything.
What?
You're
No, you said that I said an ad hominem first. So what ad hominem did I say? What ad hominem did I say? What ad hominem did I say? Yeah, I'm going to keep asking you until you answer the question. What ad hominem did I say? What ad hominem did I say to you?
Do you want me to answer? You've interrupted me every time I've started to answer. Do you want me to answer?
You could have answered by now instead of crying.
I'm not crying. I'm just waiting to have a conversation
Hey,
like
Johnny.
an adult. Do you want me to answer, or are you going to continue to interrupt me?
What ad hominem did I say?
Holy cow. This is crazy. I mean, headlines. 16-year-old looking 40-year-old woman continues to ask one stupid question over and over
Because
again.
you failed to
Listen, lady,
answer. You offered the option to
you're
answer
further
it,
proving
and then
that
you
you
just
are a
got
double-standard
silent
person
again,
by saying,
and then you're still
Right.
unable to answer
Holy
it. So
crap.
it's okay. I know you can keep
This is like a
stalling. I
fundamental
understand.
misunderstanding of what violence
Oh.
means. That's crazy.
Of what?
Hey, listen.
I didn't say
You
violence.
have a fundamental misunderstanding of what violent means.
I didn't say violence.
What did you say?
Not
Can't remember what you
violence.
said. All right. Hey, listen. Let's have a great time tonight. You know, maybe hop off the YouTube for a little while.
Sir, I have a life. I understand that you don't. It's okay. So I just want to be clear, you're not able to tell me what ad hominem I did, and I didn't say violence. Good job. That was a really bad and weird stall tactic. The number of times he could have answered the question because I stayed silent and he wanted to continue to cry. See, now this is called an observation. Cool. Hey, TikTok users, let's go ahead and get the likes up to 175,000. You are doing great. We have time for about one more caller, but real quick, before I do that, let me mute TikTok real quick. Hello, over on Twitch and over on YouTube. If you are new on Twitch, don't forget to hit that follow button. If you are new on YouTube, it's called subscribe. Subscribing is free on YouTube. If you would like to become a subscriber on Twitch, you can get a free subscription through your Amazon Prime membership for 1 month. And I encourage you to do so if you are able to. These things just help me continue to do this for about 2 hours a day, about 6 days a week. And over on YouTube, we have memberships available. For less than a cup of coffee a day, you can support a political speaker. And I would greatly appreciate you. And we also have, super chats available. If you send a super chat, it does go up on the screen and I do address it. And I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and open these call lines back up. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, how old are you?
32.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Amanda, send your daily army. Okay. Do you still support Trump?
Just pretty much like any politician. Yeah, I do and I don't. I mean, I don't like being painted to one person's entire policy range. But I do support, it was brought up a couple times with the past callers with the, the sidestep or the step away from our policy with Ukraine in the Ukraine-Russo war.
Okay.
That's what was one of my biggest reasons for supporting him, just because how terrible the war is. I mean, the war's terrible. Israel, I mean, he's absolutely shit on the Israel policy. But yeah. But I really did support and think it was the best direction to go with the Ukraine-Russian war, which is, I don't know, trying to bring a cease to the hostilities. And I guess if not, that's unable to happen, I would support completely backing out and backing away. If a solution can't come, I would definitely support us backing off.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So, did Donald Trump ever make a public address about Russia's attack on a United States company in Ukraine?
Oh, when was it? I'm not sure. When was that?
Hold on, let me pull up the calendar. The 21st.
Of this month, you mean?
Of this month.
You know what? I did hear about that. But so what about it though? Was there something more?
Did Donald Trump ever make a public address about Russia's attack on a United States company in Ukraine?
I mean, not that I've seen. I mean, he could have, but I mean, not that I've seen. No.
Yeah. And after that happened, like literally the same day, I actually have a video about it up on all of my, well, not on the Purple app, but I have a video up about it where he actually tweeted out, True Socialed out, the day it happened to be like, Ukraine needs to fight back. I'll give Putin like 2 more weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's Donald Trump's buffoonish way of trying to negotiate and do business, which I mean laughable sometimes. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not going to really defend the guy's personality while he's doing it either.
That's just bad foreign policy to not make a public address about the fact that in a United States manufacturing company was attacked on while it was having their place on foreign soil by an actual enemy.
Well, I mean, bad foreign policy would be us being involved in the war to begin with.
We're not involved.
I mean, we're very much involved with the Ukraine war. I don't know how you can.
We don't
really
have boots on the ground.
Say that. It doesn't matter. I mean, our economy is
it
not our
does.
economy. No, it doesn't. If you're financially, pretty much, I mean, we're not entirely funding them, but we are funding them more than anybody else. I mean, they could be definitely considered a proxy of the United States. So, that being said, we're definitely involved. Might not have boots on the ground, which would be the worst case scenario for everybody. I get that. But, I mean, our funding of them, I mean, we've provided them with long-range weapons, tanks, planes. I mean, all these have been used to strike inside of Russia, too, in some situations.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we are definitely, funding the killing of Russian soldiers. So they definitely see us as an enemy and definitely see us as being involved. And
has Putin ever said anything about it? Like, specifically, since Donald Trump has been in office? To say, like, hey, if you don't stop, we're going to do X, Y, and Z or anything like that? Or did he ever say that prior or follow up on any threats that he may have made about the United States?
I'm sorry, hold on. Did you say Putin?
Yeah, did Putin ever make a comment saying that, hey, United States, if you don't stop this, I'm going to do this?
I mean, he has.
Oh, cool. Did he ever follow up with that?
He has made threats.
Did he ever follow up with that?
Yeah. No, but just because he hasn't isn't a reason to play fast and loose with foreign policy.
No, I'm not saying
just
play
because he hasn't
fast
and has been
loose.
Restrained.
Oh, it's not even about being restrained, sir. I don't know if people realize this, but unless you're going to actually follow up on your threats are absolutely useless. It's a very similar concept to the boy who cried wolf.
I hear you on that, but if I could,
so his threats now fall on deaf ears.
If I could, though, give you an example of what that kind of thinking, how it started this war in the first place. Have you ever heard the Jeffrey Sachs interview where he was speaking to
Who is Jeffrey Sachs?
Who was it? So, well, he used to be involved with the I think it was the Reagan president. I don't remember exactly, but he's very knowledgeable, and he's considered to be an expert on Russian economics and Russian politics. The same with Ukraine, and especially during the Cold War. And he had a direct line in contact with Sullivan at the Defense Department, and he said that his people were telling him that all the Biden administration needed to do was pledge that Ukraine would stay neutral from NATO, and he could avoid a war. And Sullivan said, we can't do that on the main stage, on the public stage. Don't worry, there's not going to be a war. And basically not taking Russia's threats, who was threatening at the time that it would be a red line, to begin adding Ukraine into NATO. And,
okay.
I mean, it wasn't...
Can you tell me this? When was the first time, or can you tell me every time that Ukraine has applied to join NATO? There's only been 2. I'll go ahead and give you that hint. It's only been twice.
Oh, I mean, I don't know exactly. I'm gonna say during one of the times was during this war.
After they were invaded. So it was September of 2022 was the second time Ukraine ever applied to join NATO. After they were invaded. So that already refutes your point of logic now.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No,
if you said that if Biden, you said specifically that Jeffrey Sachs or whatever his first name was, said that he was informed that if Biden had just said Ukraine has no chance of joining NATO, that the war would have never started. Not that it wouldn't continue. You said that it would have never started.
Well,
so if the second time the invasion happened February 2022. No. The full invasion happened. The full invasion happened February 4th, 2022. They didn't apply to join NATO until September of 2022. The very first time that Ukraine ever applied to join NATO, and there is no instance of them applying between these years, was 2008. So if that's the case, why didn't Russia invade Ukraine in 2008?
Well, because, I mean, they were turned down in 2008, and they were told
they were turned down in September of 2022 as well. So what actually happened is that instead of Russia invading, having this red line, right, that Ukraine cannot join NATO, Russia instead invaded the country of Georgia.
Yeah.
So how is that a red line if they didn't do anything for 14 years from the very first time that they applied? They didn't do anything for 14 years?
Well, I can answer it for you. As of the recent years leading up to the 2022 invasion, Western leaders were flirting and outwardly speaking about the possibility of them being added to NATO and closer alliances. And since 2014, we had already been training them. And Donald Trump brags about it all the time, stupidly, but we were giving them arms and weapons before the invasion.
Yeah. Why?
So,
do you know why?
What?
Do you know why? Why were we giving humanitarian aid under the Obama administration for between 2014 and when he left office, January 19, 2020? 2017.
Well, I mean, there was a civil war, and then Russia invaded Crimea as a response to that overthrowing of that government in 2000.
There wasn't a civil war. It was Liberation Day. It was a singular day. It was a singular day. It was a singular day where Yanukovych was ran out of the country, and he went to hide in Belarus. Then he went to hide out in Belarus, and now Yanukovych hangs his hat in Russia because he was always known to be a Russian sympathizer.
Pro-Russian.
Russian sympathizer, which the people of Ukraine did not want, right? So
Not
again,
everybody. There was no, that's
the
not true.
Crimean votes
Not
that I'm
true.
sure you're going to bring up next was actually held, like we have proof of this. This has been reported on multiple websites, right? On multiple studies of institutes, right? Not just anything like the American ABC News or whatever, but like the Institute of the Study of War, for example, also reported on this. Britannica reported on this. And they all report that the election or the vote that was held in Crimea was after Russian separatists already went into Crimea and they held them at gunpoint, and only about 27% of the entire population voted in that poll that they held. But they were already being held at gunpoint, right? And now Russia's actually committing war crimes within Crimea, specifically on making any other religion except for their Catholic belief to be outlawed. They have the original population. Do you happen to, the indigenous population of Crimea. Do you happen to know who the indigenous population of Crimea is?
No, I don't.
Tartars.
And
they're called the Tartars, and they are ethnically Muslim. They have over 200 ethnically Muslim Tartars, the indigenous population of Crimea, in Russian prisons for an indeterminate amount of time. They have Christians in Russian prisons for an indeterminate amount of time. Russia has been committing war crimes within Crimea and the Donbas region of Ukraine. From this entire time, right?
Yeah.
They have maybe
I'm not going to-
32
you're not gonna catch
churches left in Crimea, and all of them are Catholic. When they had over
you know what? I hear
100,
you.
they had over
I hear you.
100 at the
I'm
time.
not-
They are
you.
committing ethnic cleansing within Crimea and within Ukraine.
I know. Can I say something now? What a lot of people confuse my stance on this. I do not support Russia. I do not support anything. I will not defend anything they do. All I'm saying is that it's important, and I know you know this, so I'm not like trying to undermine you, because I know you're not dumb. You're smart. I'm just trying to say that the best way to, if we're going to come to a solution in this, which it doesn't seem like it's going to be anytime soon, and you know this, like I said, everything, every reason for this war starting needs to be addressed. So I'm not siding with them. I'm just trying my best.
The one about NATO
'Cause I
falls
don't
on
live in
deaf
Russia.
ears, again, because they didn't try to join NATO for 14 years, and they only tried to join NATO after they were invaded. They didn't sign any additional agreements with NATO after they were invaded in
that, but
2014. They didn't sign anything additional after 2008. The primary partnership that NATO was operating under when it comes to Ukraine is in fact called the
European
Partnership for
Union.
Peace
Oh,
program.
okay. A
Yeah, the
Partnership for Peace, yeah.
Partnership for Peace program that was signed by Ukraine on February 8, 1994. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then just like the other things that Russia violated when they illegally annexed Crimea was their own Partnership for Peace program that they had signed on to with NATO also in 1994. I believe the month was May. I don't remember the exact date, right? They also violated the original Minsk Accords, the original ones, not the ones that we remember from 2014, but the ones that were actually from 1993. They also violated Helsinki Final Act.
Okay.
They violated multiple treaties, and that's why NATO was assisting Ukraine. We are also one of the founding members of NATO, which is why we are also assisting Ukraine. But specifically, we also have the Budapest Memorandum of December of 1994, which Russia signed on to, and they said that they were going to guarantee Ukraine's sovereignty as a nation within the Budapest Memorandum. Yeah.
Yeah, but I get where you're going, but it doesn't have to be. They don't have to have put in a formal application to join NATO. It was the talks and the outward speaking from our leaders that was implying that that's what our eventual goal was. And if you're Russia and you're sitting there and you're seeing how the United States and their European partners operate, I mean, and if you're hearing not Secretary of Defense, but if you hear a Pentagon official speaking about their desires that Ukraine could one day be in NATO, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, I wouldn't trust America, honestly. I really wouldn't. I mean, and it's about our control and our power over there. So if Ukraine were to win the war, which they won't, unless, and I hate to say that because I know they're not the ones who are wrong in this. For first off, they were invaded and they were. I mean, I think that we did them dirty. I think they thought that we would help them, but I mean, obviously we're not going to. But this is about American dominance in the European area, and that's what it is, and it just so happens to be in Ukraine, and I mean Russia sees it as that too. That's what a lot of people see it as in Russia. That's why Russia's got a lot of support from its citizens on this war.
Can you tell me this?
And
what right does Russia have to dictate over another sovereign country in what they do?
Listen,
they don't. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if it's
so Russia is able to, Ukraine is able to join NATO whenever the fuck they want, because are you referring to this mythical agreement in 1991 when the Soviet Union dissolved about not going further eastward?
Not mythical. It wasn't mythical.
There was no signed agreement. Gorbachev, who was just to be clear, Gorbachev, do you know who Gorbachev is?
Yes, I know who fucking Gorbachev.
So he was the president of the USSR? I just want to be clear, you understand that he was the president of the USSR right before it dissolved, right?
No, I thought he was the president of France.
Cool, awesome. So Gorbachev came out in 2014 when Putin used this mythical agreement that was never had as a reason to annex Crimea. Right? Gorbachev came out and said that this conversation never happened. The conversation was actually about them going further into East Germany and only into East Germany. I am wondering, have you ever heard of the NATO-Russia Founding Act of 1997?
Listen. So,
have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, cool. Let me help you out.
No, but hold on. You're naming a whole bunch of things. You're not letting
because
me
I've
speak
done
on
my
anything.
research. I can't help
So
it.
have I, dude.
It doesn't sound like it, actually, because if you had done your research, you probably would have found the NATO-Russia Founding Act of 1997, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen for everybody else. You can go back and look it up. So this comes actually directly from the State Department, the United States State Department, right? And at the very bottom, it specifically says that Russia signed off on in 1997. Oh, this has a lot of meaning here, and this I think will help you understand.
Yeah, but you literally just
is that
said
the act has no
Ukraine
impact
can do whatever
on
they
NATO
want.
enlargement. That process is proceeding
literally
on
your
schedule.
speaking is what
NATO
caused this
leaders
war.
at the Madrid summit in July will extend invitations to the first countries to begin accession talks. Those countries admitted will have the full rights and responsibilities of alliance membership, and the door to membership will remain open to all emerging European democracies. Let me try this again. The act has no impact on NATO enlargements. This is something that Russia signed off on and agreed to in 1997. The argument about Ukraine or any other European country joining NATO is invalid because they already signed on to it. I literally just read it to you. Do I need to read it again?
But that's not an answer to it, though. Because you're not...
Why do we need to have an answer to it? They literally agreed to NATO enlargement in 1997. They agreed to NATO becoming, enlarging in 1997. And if this was such a red line that other European countries, specifically ones on their border, didn't join NATO, why didn't they stop Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, right? Any of those three countries? Why didn't they stop Finland in 2023? or
Because Ukraine is the last one. Is right on their border.
Finland is also right on their border. So is Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia are right on their border. Finland has a naval port that is 20 kilometers away from a dock of Russia.
When did Finland join NATO?
2023. Same with Sweden.
There you go. So you
Also, Sweden shares a significant portion of their... Yeah, if it was such a red line, if it was truly a red line that no other country on their border joined NATO, then they would have invaded Finland and Sweden. Oh, no, it is. It's a real statement. If they were serious about them, if no other country joining NATO, then that's what it would have been. They would have stopped Sweden. They would have stopped Finland. They would have done all of these things, but they didn't. You're boring.
No.
Anyways. Okay. Really quickly. Sorry. I'm 9 minutes over my time, and I do want to go ahead and head off in a moment. So let's go ahead and pop off this display capture so we can go over 2 chats. Okay? All right. Twisted, what state are you in? I feel you will be a state leader soon, and I want to be in a state you are a leader of. Twisted, you are welcome, and I encourage you to join my Discord server. This is not something I talk about on a public forum. So, I don't give out my state. I just don't. But thank you for the 20. Joey, thanks for letting me spam your chat. I'm a sucker for political discussions. I know you think politics are bad, but thank you, Joey, for the 10. You're here like every day. I appreciate it. I had to no name. I had to. But yeah, Twisted, really, I don't give out my state on stream. So if you would like to join my Discord, you are welcome to. It is in the link tree in my bio. All right. Oh, guys, I didn't realize Tracy is upset. I didn't realize that thanking someone for their donation was the same as begging. I also have a blue app that starts with a V to read from my friend Dagger. I'm pretty sure he was talking about the caller prior to this one, but he said, "Fuck this guy. He should stay on his knees for Trump because that seems to be about the only thing he knows about. Ask him if he has wiped the Cheeto dust in off his face because he couldn't finish anyone, let alone a woman." That was for the prior caller. Sorry, Dagger, that I just got to it, and I hope you heard me calling it out. But I appreciate that. Yeah, join the server. I might have no name. My bad. Just saying. You are so rude. So rude. So rude. So rude. I want to know where it said that I had to be nice. When did I say that I had to be nice? I know, Dagger. I have a world of patience. No idea why. No idea where from. It just exists. All right, guys. If you are over here on all of the apps, if you're on the purple app, hit that follow button if you're new here. If you're on the red app, hit that subscribe button up at the top if you're new here. If you're on TikTok, hit the red follow button up at the top of the screen. All right. And on all of these apps, make sure you have notifications turned on so you know when I go live. TikTok, you tend to miss notifications. So the best way to know when I go live from TikTok is to join my Discord server because I have push notifications that go out. I use TikTok Studio. TikTok Studio doesn't send out mobile notifications. It's really lame, honestly. Okay. All right. But I am. So TikTok, just give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be right back on TikTok. And hey, Safe Space. All right, YouTube, Twitch, we are going to go ahead and end for the night. I appreciate all of you being here. I know we're dwindling down on Twitch and on YouTube on the viewership, and that's okay. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and end, like I said. Thank you for the new follow over on Twitch. I appreciate that. Guys, I try to read all three chats. It's really hard because I'm streaming. Sorry, it's actually 4. I'm streaming on 2 different streams on YouTube. I'm on Twitch and I'm on TikTok. It's a lot. It's a lot. I try. But y'all have a great Tuesday night.